On a mobile app makes it easier to eat right, sleep well, and push for a harder workout. Now, the availability of health apps is climbing fast, and the industry expects the number of health and fitness apps to quadruple between 2010 and 2016. It's amazing, isn't it? Patrick Henchie, who is the product marketing at Microsoft, joins us to share more information on how technology helps to keep you fit and healthy. Patrick, welcome. It's so good to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
I know, this is the biggest trend. We even spoke to a technology expert that said for this year, I think this is going to be one of the biggest things that's going to happen.
Definitely. We've seen a lot of trends start emerging. And what we see is, as technology moves at this incredible pace, we've seen sensors starting to get smaller. And I'm talking about GPS to track your movements, motion sensors to track your movement. And as those are getting smaller, so people are being able to create wearable devices.
Yeah.
This is a massive trend, as well as the processing power of smartphones. They're able now to take all that information and process it and put it into nice, pretty pictures for you to look at to say whether you're doing well or not.
Yeah.
Another trend is also at Microsoft, we're starting to build this technology into the actual device. So now it's not only a case of needing a band. The bands are great. They look fantastic, but also now just your phone, just simply walking around, having your phone in your pocket.
It measures
with
everything.
sensor core, it measures your steps, and well, so it's really helping. A big trend, and we're going to see this just growing and growing.
Yeah, I mean, having the phone on you it's good, it's nice, it's wonderful.
Yes.
But I mean, generally, do you find, if people are going for a long run, or if they're going cycling or whatever, that they will keep it with them all the time?
So not necessarily, and this is where the bands do come in.
Yes.
They do play their part, and this is where it's very important having the application available on the smartphone, because it's basically just a data collection device.
Yeah.
All right. You don't know what to. You can look at that data in the raw format. You're not going to know what to do with it. So it's a case of having a great application on your Lumia device or your smartphone, and being able then to take all that motion sensor, pedometer information, building it into information that you can use to track your progress.
Yeah, I have to tell you, here we go. I'm wearing one.
Yes.
Okay, and this is, it's revolutionary, because you sit there and it's a matter of, I got into bed last night and I think I had done 9,600 and something steps.
Yes.
Okay, some people might think that's not a lot, but in my book, I think I did quite well. And all I know is my goal is 10,000 steps a day. Do you know how I really wanted to get up and just walk around the house so I could achieve those 10,000 steps. However, I didn't do it. I didn't, because I was just so tired. But there you go. There is a motivation that I would never have had before.
It also comes down to the new trend emerging. It's not necessarily just about fitness. It's about life logging.
Yeah.
People want to quantify what they've done. And it's a case of, yes, fitness, one element, but it's also, what am I eating? Tracking my calories, my sleep. That's where the motion sensor comes in, to see whether you've had a peaceful night's sleep or whether you've had a restful night's sleep. And then also, once again, nothing is cool without being social. So now it's also the opportunity to share this information amongst your friends, have competitions, and all that. And this is also where it's a case of, now you're combining hardware, you're combining the hardware of either your wearable or your smartphone, as well as the cloud, because all this information is stored in the cloud, shared across devices, and even sort of certain medical aids are getting on board now, because now you can start tracking your workouts, uploading them, and getting credit for them, and it turns into tangible benefits.
Yeah, which is, it's amazing. It's an absolutely amazing turn of events, if one has to think about it that way. But how easy is it for just any normal person to do something like this? It is costly to buy a band, but you say it's available on your phone as well. How does it track? How does it all work?
So it really does come down to the sensors that you have available to you. Okay, in certain Lumia devices, you have the sensor core technology built in. And essentially, when the phone is in your pocket and you're moving around, it's tracking that there is movement.
Yeah.
And it sort of measures a stride rate, and it adds that up and says, right, this is how many steps you've done. You can start tracing calories, where you can actually start inputting, this is food that I've eaten, and it'll measure your calories. So you can start building up shall we say, a library of what's working and what isn't working.
Yeah.
So it really is about quantifying and measuring those results.
Okay, let's recommend some apps. What do you recommend?
So you get the Microsoft Health apps. Okay, these are really great. You get access to a lot of articles about health, nutrition. You also track your steps, measure you get Fitbit, which is also fantastic. Fitbit really is at the forefront now, especially with the sensors, and it's a case of pay more, get more. The more expensive, you get more sensors in your device. And then another one that I recommend is Misfit. And Misfit have taken a slightly different approach to this. They've gone very much with the fashion element of it. So Misfit, they've got the Shine band, and with that they've actually done a partnership with Swarovski. So
really crystals all over them as
so really taking it to the next level, where it's, instead of just being practical, it's now practical and looks really great at the same time.
Yeah. So there are a variety of apps that you can
There's
use.
the Adidas My Coach, there's Runtastic, there's Endomondo. So there really is, and what's happening now is people are starting to specialize into applications. So you're into hiking. There's a hiking app for you which combines photography as well as tracking your movement. So it's see something beautiful, take a photo. This is where you were when you saw this photo. So it's just really, and in terms of using these, it's play around, go to the app store, just search sort of fitness, or go to the category sort of fitness, and you will be able to download and play.
That's fantastic. What about, I'm going to wrap this now, but just on a personal question, what about cycling? Because it seems that, it feels you're moving, but it won't count it as a step. So do you need something separate?
So once again, there comes down to a GPS.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of these devices have a GPS sensor in there, and it can basically track where you're going, and then plot that onto an actual map. All right, and you can start seeing and tracing your route and understanding where you were, what you were doing, what your heart rate was, even to the extent of what songs you were listening to at the time where you were at that point.
It's amazing. Listen, fascinating conversation. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very, very much for joining us on the program. Patrick Henchie is the Senior Manager of Portfolio and Product Marketing at Microsoft, talking to us about this great trend about health and your smartphone and wearing all these devices and monitoring how many steps you take in. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, Tsietsi, do you have anything that monitors what you do? You ride a motorbike though, but you have started running as well.
Yeah, I actually have. I have an app. It is something plus. I don't know if I can say the word. It's like...
Why not?
Nike Plus, okay?
Okay, yeah,
That is it. Yeah, and I've been running, and I must tell you, remember we had a pact, you and I, that the most running we'll do is actually watching the comrades. But I've changed. I've turned over a new leaf. I run quite a lot now. I've been speaking to Nzamo. He advised me on getting the right shoes and the right rest and so on. Even another weatherman called John Sturley has also been helping me out. And I can tell you, over 20 races, I've done over 200 kilometers already now. So...
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
It's really good. Yeah, and of course, you get to look good. I mean...
Yeah, well, that's at the top of your agenda, isn't it? We know you. All right, quickly, I think, just give us a quick weather update before we leave our viewers.
Okay, let's quickly.